This is Real Deal Sports Talk with KP.
D-Town, can you vibe to this? D-Town getting down to this. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Took a powerful rip. It felt like a time traveler trip. My mind drifting to the cloudy abyss. Took my chalice and sip. Chicks admire how I'm styling my fit. I acknowledge with the smile of a prince. Can tell I'm piling my chips. The party's rocking, everybody was bent. Nobody wildin', ain't no violence in hit. We all lounging for real. The smooth sounds got us vibing and shit. In D-Town, steady riding to this. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. In D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. In D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Can you get down to
Living
this?
life to the fullest, it's an everyday philosophy. Walk up in the spot and get the party popping properly. Ain't no beef now, we just chilling inside. All the energy is positive, we feeling that vibe. Politicking with my people, we get the reminiscing how we flip the whole script. Now we in better position, still be on a mission, turning dreams to fruition. Getting street knowledge, no fees, intuition. Think about the future, how we need to teach children. Already reached thousands, we about to reach millions. Break the glass ceiling, how your ass feeling? Like a superhero on these comic book villains in the Mile High City. You know we stay blazing. I'm high off this life though, the feeling is amazing. Never had nothing, now every day is celebrated. Glasses elevated tonight.
Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Can you get down to this? Can you get down to this?
And welcome into Real Deal Sports Talk with KP, your boy. We are here. It is August 2nd, 2018. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I hope your Thursday went well. You can once again, we're looking at the weekend. The weekend's here. It's sunny. It's beautiful weather here in Colorado. I gotta say, I'm having a good day. I'm feeling inspired. Had a conversation with my friend of the show, Marcus Ogden, just a few minutes ago. I'm gonna try this isogenics, get my health right for my wife and my daughter and myself. I'm gonna let you guys know about my journey as I try this product out. I'm excited for it. I'm nervous for it. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm feeling, great today. I'm feeling inspired and excited and nervous. And, football's in the air. We got the Hall of Fame game tonight. We got the Hall of Fame class going in on Saturday. I'm going to continue making the case as to why Pat Bowlen should not only be in the Hall of Fame, but they need to go ahead and put that man in the Hall of Fame as soon as possible. We got the NBA's got a new partner we're going to talk about. Come on. We got to talk about their new partner. The XFL's making news. The Ohio State University is going to have an interim head coach, quite possibly as they open up the season, ranked number 3. So lots to talk about today. But we're going to start off. Don't forget about KP Showdown, the 3rd annual fantasy league for the show. You can get the link to sign up on the website, realdealsportstalkwithkp.com. Our league ID is 616-4249, and the league password, all capital letters, One Pride, because your boy, we rep the Lions, right? We a Lions fan here. We're going to keep it real about all the teams, but we also wear our team on our sleeve. We have an update on the website. If you go to the Check Us Out page, you can see an update to the Idaho Phoenix section / Pharaohs section, as I included a little image of the Little League team that Dion Wainwood is also running, as we support them in their efforts as they're helping individuals who might not have other chances continue playing the game they love and also giving back to the kids. So much respect to the Wood, Wayne Hood, Entertainment, all them up there in Idaho doing their thing for the kids. But tonight, the big thing, football's back, the Hall of Fame game. Some of you don't care, and guess what? I don't care about you. I love this game. I don't care about your opinion is what I meant. I care about you. People, it's all love. That's real. But your opinion I don't care for because it's football to me. I'm glad football's back. I'm glad high school football's coming back. I'm glad college football's coming back. I'm not happy with the business side and the league offices of the NFL and their handling of the anthem protest. That's some, bull BS. But I support the players. I'm there for the players. And you know what? Let me say something real quick because it's been on my mind coming into today's show. My last few shows, I have not brought it for y'all. I'm going to be real. I was subpar. I was not at my best. So today I hope I can give you a little bit more. I can be a little more for you. I can give a little more for you, all right? So that's my goal with today's show. Anyway, Hall of Fame game, back to it. I'm excited. All football's coming back. This is my favorite time of the year. We've talked about it on this show before, how it took me years and years and years, a decade plus, to get over not having football as my yearly routine. I love football. I love this time. I love the pads. I love being in the locker room around the guys. I love getting hit. I love making hits. I love scoring. I love learning the lessons from losing. It's just a great time. And tonight, the Ravens, in their first ever appearance in a Hall of Fame game, are taking on the Bears, who will be making their fourth appearance in the Hall of Fame game. Hall of Fame game has been played every year since 1962, except one, 1966. Not really sure why. Maybe because Vietnam. I don't think that was that year. But there was no Hall of Fame game in 66. Last year, Dallas beat Arizona. And that game, Dallas was in that game because they put Jerry Jones in, right? Jerry Jones went in last year. We're going to talk about this year's class here in a minute. But this is where I deviate to Pat Bowlen. One of the best, if not the best, owner in the NFL. And I'm not saying that because I live in Denver. I just told you guys, I'm a Lions fan. All right? Pat Bowlen has been a great owner since his time in the NFL. His teams have been successful. His players have been happy. The league business that he's done, the TV contracts. He deserves to be in the NFL. And now he's at a point with his Alzheimer's that he might not know that he's in the Hall of Fame when he finally does get the due respect that he deserves. But I want to read through some of his credentials. It's a long list, but it's a due list. Pat Bowlen has earned this. He deserves this. He deserves to have these things heard. He deserves to have these things written down on a plaque. He deserves to have his bust in the Hall of Fame where we have the greats, from owners to players. They've all made this game what it is. And I'm sorry, all due respect to Jerry Jones and the deals that he's brought and the business dealings he's brought to the NFL, he has not done as much for the game as Pat Bowlen. All he did was increase the value of his asset to be number one in the world. Great. Congratulations. That doesn't make you great for the NFL. Pat Bowlen paved the way. Jerry Jones has been the face. Jerry Jones has now got himself in hot water with his talk on the anthem protest. He's going to lose free agents and his little franchise ain't going to be worth as much. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Nothing against you guys. You're great fans. But Pat Bowlen's credentials, why he should not only be in the Hall of Fame, but they should make an emergency announcement and put him in on Saturday. Let's start the list. Pat Bowlen's Broncos have had more Super Bowl appearances than they've had losing seasons since he owned the team. Under Pat Bowlen, the Broncos own the second best record in the NFL. Since he took over, the Broncos have the third highest winning percentage in American pro sports. Not the NFL, in American pro sports. Pat Bowlen's influence on the television committee has helped increase the NFL's TV revenue by more than 750%. Pat Bowlen is the only NFL owner who held a major role in the league's top four components of television revenue, stadium construction, international growth, and labor peace. He served on 15 NFL committees, including chairman of the Broadcasting and Management Council. Only Dan Rudy and Lamar Hunt, both who are in the Hall of Fame, served on more committees. The Broncos have enjoyed 21 winning seasons, 13 division titles, 9 conference championship berths, and 7 Super Bowl appearances under his ownership. Led the Denver Broncos to 3 world championships in 97, 98, and 2015. Pat Bowlen's Broncos are one of only 6 NFL franchises to win back-to-back Super Bowls. The Broncos have sold out all 292 home games during his ownership, has donated more than $30 million to charitable organizations in the Denver area since inception of the Broncos charities in 1993, so more than a decade after he bought the team. Pat Bowlen received the Mazzell Institute Community Enrichment Award in 2013, Colorado region's most prestigious philanthropic accolade. Under his ownership, the Broncos are the only NFL team to post at least 90 wins in each of the last 3 decades. The Broncos have had the most national and primetime television appearances in the NFL under Pat Bowlen. The Broncos were the only AFC franchise to win 3 conference championships in the 80s. Under Bowlen, Denver owns the most winning seasons. The Broncos rank 2nd in overall wins and Super Bowl appearances under Pat Bowlen. The Broncos won an NFL record 7 postseason games in a 2-year period under Pat Bowlen. Broncos became the 2nd team in modern NFL history to go undefeated during regular season play at home for 3 consecutive seasons under his ownership. The Broncos went nearly a calendar year without a defeat from December 1997 to December 1998. The Broncos have the best home record in pro football over the past 34 years. In 34 years, Pat Bowlen's Broncos have had an NFL low 6 losing seasons. 6 in 34 years. Denver has led the NFL in attendance during Pat Bowlen's ownership, drawing more than 20 million fans. Now, all of these stats I got from 104.3 The Fan, putpatin.com. They started this campaign. You can go to putpatin.com. You can sign the petition. They compiled all of these amazing stats. And some of you are sitting there going, those aren't his stats. He didn't play. He didn't do anything. No, but he created the culture. He put his guys first. He made his players happy. He did the best for his team. He did the best for every team in the NFL. He made all of them money. He made the entire game better. And the success that team had is a direct relationship to his ownership, i.e., just like what the New England Patriots have been doing since Robert Kraft took over, or what the Dallas Cowboys were able to start to achieve and then fell off sharply under Jerry Jones' ownership. Jerry did it for about 15 years. Pat Bowlen's ownership has lasted 34 years of this success. Now, true, with his Alzheimer's now, it has been turned over to the trust. They are looking for a new owner. But come on, man. If there's an owner in the NFL right now who's alive, who deserves to be in, who should have gone in when Jerry Jones went in, who should have been in before that, it's Pat Bowlen. And this is a guy, as a kid, I had a problem with. When they won their first Super Bowl and they changed the uniforms and they took the D off the helmet, I fell for the idea that he did that because he might want to move the team someday. I was a fool. I was a kid. But outside of that, as an adult, I've looked back, reading the success his franchise has had. Increased TV by 750%. The amount of money he's given to charity to the city of Denver, thus helping the league's image. Now, I get it. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is not owned by the NFL. It is a separate entity. They decide. They have their own committee that puts people in. They have a voting process. They have a veterans committee. This, that, and the other. But it is damn time that Pat Bowlen is in the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Period. That's all I'm going to say about that until the end of the show, when once again I am cheering. Put Pat in. All right, tonight's game. What I am excited for. Let's get into the game a little more. I'm excited. Look, Trubisky's not playing. I wanted to see how he was going to look in Nagy's new system for a few plays. Tried to compare it to last year. He's not playing tonight. Joe Flacco's not playing tonight. So Lamar Jackson, it's your show. I heard Alfred Williams today call this game the college all-star game, basically, preseason games, right? Because these are some guys who maybe they didn't get to play in an all-star game because they were too young. They were juniors or whatever. The Ravens, I want to see, does Willie Snead get in there? He's athletic. I think he's going to play well off of a Lamar Jackson. Michael Crabtree, how many plays is he going to get in? Brashad Perryman, what's his health like? Because it has not been good since he entered the NFL. John Brown coming over. How many plays? What does Lamar Jackson do? Obviously, Lamar's going to play more than just one series like Flacco would have if he was in this game. So we're going to get a good look. They have a nice offensive line with Staley. And we're going to break this, we broke this division down already. Marshall Yond, a good player. The Ravens have some talent for Lamar Jackson to work with. Maybe Lamar Jackson doesn't start. Maybe they start Robert Griffin the third tonight, bring Lamar Jackson in a little bit after that. We'll have to see how it plays out. I haven't really heard any announcements. Alex Collins, he probably doesn't get a lot of run tonight. They're definitely going to want to keep him healthy. So look for some of their younger guys and other players to get more reps there. Terrell Suggs probably doesn't play tonight. C.J. Mosley, if he's in there, it's not going to be for long. Most of their starting defense probably doesn't play very much tonight. Just, maybe work up a sweat on a series. And then you're going to see some of their younger guys come in. I'm looking forward to, who's that? Greg Sinnott, that big guy they drafted from rugby. And then I want to check out Orlando Brown, see how he does. It looks like they're going to have him on the right side. I like that for him. So there's guys for Baltimore that I'm looking to watch. I want to see how Lamar Jackson gets the ball to some of these guys. I want to see him take off and run. It'd be nice to see Robert Griffin III have a decent showing. Because who knows, we could have a blockbuster situation where before the end of the preseason, Joe Flacco is finding himself traded to another team. Highly unlikely, but could happen. Now, Trubisky, he's not playing tonight, but it is Nagy's first game as head coach as he comes over from Kansas City. Somebody that here in Denver was rumored at some point to maybe, have been a potential coaching candidate here. Can Kevin White stay healthy for them this year? Allen Robinson, as he comes over, what is he going to offer? Adam Shaheen, does he take a step forward this year? Not quite as good as I thought he was going to be last year. Solid season. They bring over the veteran to help him out, though, and Trey Burton, who's now got that Super Bowl ring. Offensive line, pretty solid. Massey Long, Whitehair Cush. Those guys might get some run tonight. Great running back core with Howard, Cohen, and Cunningham. I don't know if the two at the back end get any play. Taylor Gabriel comes over. Benny Fowler, guys like that come over. We'll see how much play they get tonight. Benny Fowler's probably a casualty at the end of camp with some of the other talent they have. On defense, we're not going to see their number one pick. We're not going to see Roquan Smith. He hasn't signed yet. That helmet rule's holding him up. We're going to see last year's pick, Leonard Floyd, probably. They bring back their veteran, their leader, and Kyle Fuller. I mean, that's somebody they needed to bring back because Prince Amukamara is their second corner, and he's, in my opinion, not that good. He's a guy that's shopped around, and as long as he has help, he'll make some plays and not get burned too often. But if he has to be the guy, he doesn't have it in him. So we'll have to see. Most interesting thing tonight is going to, for me, with the Bears, is going to be seeing kind of how Nagy works that first quarter, that first series, what kind of mix of plays, what kind of scenarios they're trying to work through, what they're trying to see, because it's vanilla. They're not showing anything right now. It's not what they're going to do in the regular season. But you want to see how guys look. You want to see if the legs look fresh. You want to see if they've changed something from last year. Are they doing more RPO type stuff? Is there some creative mix they add in later in the game? Because I'll watch the entire game, honestly. first look at some of these young draft picks, like we said. And then, of course, the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that football is back, right? It's back. It is officially back as of tonight. More games kick off next weekend. The Lions are on the 10th. I know the Broncos are on the 11th against the Vikings. So it's great. It's an exciting time of year. There's a lot going on. It's just, I can't put it into words how much I love the sport, the game of football, and express all of the stuff that it taught and gave to me. This year's Hall of Fame class, it gave all the same things to them that it gave to me and more, because they're in the Hall of Fame and I'm sitting here talking about them. But Bobby Beathard, Robert Brazil, longtime, front office guys, did a lot for the game. Brian Dawkins, Jerry Kramer, Ray Lewis, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, and Brian Urlacher round out the group. Now, not all of these guys, in my opinion, are Hall of Famers, but they're in this year. Brian Dawkins, extremely, well, not even extremely, a very good player. Solid guy, team leader, brought excitement, made some good hits. Wasn't the best in coverage, wasn't the best tackler, but he was a solid guy. He was a Pro Bowler. Jerry Kramer, longtime Packer, probably should have been in before now. Ray Lewis, first ballot guy, great linebacker. Whether or not you like him as a person is another question. You can debate that at another time. Randy Moss, you could argue, is the best receiver to ever play the game. I know you're going to go with Jerry Rice. That's fine. That's a great argument too. Terrell Owens deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I am disappointed he's not there. I understand the part of wanting to include your past and your history and your college and them giving you a chance and your people. I get that. I can respect that. I just don't think it should have been on the same day as the enshrinement ceremony. And if it was, it should have been later on. You skip the after party. But joining this team, to me, is such an honor to be in that group of people that you make the effort to be there, at least for that part. And then you do your thing. That's fine. And like I said before, in your speech, if you feel like you got, held out or screwed over or whatever, talk about that hardship. Talk about the mental part. Talk about getting over that and moving on. Talk about adversity and how to deal with it. But don't create a situation where now you're over here and the rest of your new team is over here. That's why it looks bad. Not because Tennessee Chattanooga gave you a chance. Not because you want to pay homage and, be respectful to that part of your life and include that and have them be there. But because you got snubbed and you want some payback, and there's too many members of the Hall for you to do that to the writers and the people who didn't put you in before. That's just how I see it. All right, moving on. The XFL, let's talk about it, because now they're gaining some traction. They bring over Oliver Luck. He was running the NCAA. Andrew Luck's dad, if you don't recognize the name. They now have Jim Caldwell on. They have John Fox on. This is legitimizing this product. I'm now a little more optimistic that this is going to actually be football. It could be minor league football. It's not going to compete with the NFL in any way. Let's be real. These are not going to be your top players. You're not going to get Aaron Rodgers leaving the NFL to go sign with the XFL. But you're going to get a lot of guys who maybe didn't get drafted or didn't get that free agent contract go play in the XFL like it's the CFL. And it might even surpass and eclipse the CFL because of some of the talent they could get that doesn't want to go play in Canada. But having Jim Caldwell come on as an advisor, John Fox come in as an advisor, maybe these guys decide to coach. No reports about them being coaches yet, but Oliver Luck being there too, and what he was able to do with his time with NCAA. or at least what he gets credit for. It's interesting. We'll have to follow this. They're supposed to start in 2020, so we're early on, late here, mid 2018. They've got some guys that are, helping build the idea and the ground and the foundation of what it's going to be 2 years from now. So we'll see. Now, the Ohio State University Buckeyes. Preseason polls come out. They are ranked 3rd. Good news, right? Well, it would be if it weren't for the other news that came out this week about Urban Meyer. He has been placed on administrative leave for allegedly knowing about the ex-wife of former Ohio State assistant Zach Smith, that he knew of the allegations of domestic violence that Zach had committed against his then wife. This happened in 2015. Smith was fired in July 23rd. And apparently the wives shared text messages, including with Urban Meyer's wife. So that's where it gets me. I've heard people say it can't be proven, yada, 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 nothing's going to happen to Urban Meyer. And maybe nothing should. But to me, it's very clear that he did know about this. His wife did not get that text message and go, oh, well, I don't need to tell my husband that his assistant is beating his wife. That didn't happen. Sorry. Now, I don't know Urban Meyer and his wife personally, but their relationship and their public persona that they have put out there with their kids comes across as one where they talk to each other. Imagine that. A couple that talks to each other. And I know I talked to my wife, and if I were to have gotten a message about somebody that she knew or worked with was being physically abused or even verbally abused, I would let her know, as she would me. Now, she'd have to calm me down so I didn't go try and defend said person, but I don't know that I would then just let it go to the wayside for a season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons or however long this was just going to go until somebody reported on it. But the idea that the wives all text messaged and that he didn't know, or he's saying he didn't know, that's a little sticky of a situation for me. Now, their offensive coordinator, Ryan Day, is going to serve as acting head coach in Meyer's absence. And I don't think anything happens to Meyer. If he has to leave and they can't figure out and specifically point some kind of blame at him, they owe him $38 million or something like that. You're not going to let him walk with $38 million. His agent did a great job of continuing to rework his deal to where if you're going to get rid of him now because he knew about this and didn't report it, is it worth that amount of money? Because you're not getting $38 million because he decided not to report that his assistant allegedly was involved in domestic violence. Now, it seems like more than likely his assistant 100% was involved in domestic violence, and it seems more than likely that Urban Meyer knew about that. And I'm pretty sure from what I read, this happened in 2015, like I said, and that this guy was just fired this July, so just like 2 weeks ago, as all this stuff started coming back out. So we'll see if this affects Ohio State's season. We'll see if this affects any of the team, if they decide to leave, if their moms... excuse me. If their moms or grandmas are like, nah, you're not playing for that man no more. He looked me in my face, and that's not his character. We'll see. There could be some fallout. There could be nothing. There could be some penalty for the school of some kind. I don't know. With the Me Too movement, with the precedent of head coaches, Joe Paterno not telling what their assistants have been doing and firing them for that, we'll have to see how this one plays out. But the Ohio State University's Buckeye is definitely black and blue with this one tonight. That's for sure. Other stories. Last NFL story, then we'll, start wrapping up the show here. I don't know if you guys saw the picture or not, but Michael Bennett, he is now a Philadelphia Eagle. I think he's going to do great in that defense. Great rotational player in that defense. But he's wearing a red hat in the Philadelphia locker room that says "Immigrants made America great." On one hand, that's true. Modern America, what it has been built into, was all made by immigrants. It has been sustained by immigrants. Whether we want to admit that or not, we all sit back cozy and don't even think about who's picking the food and doing the hard labor and things like that. They're not coming here and taking our jobs. They're not. They're taking the jobs that none of us want. And that's the truth. Now, Native Americans, you might have a different opinion on that based on the fact that after you immigrated here, Europeans came and, messed everything up. But here we are. Immigrants made America great. Like your hat. Love your political activism. We stand with you and kneel for the anthem until it's addressed and we start seeing some progress. And everybody in this country matters. We don't all have to live the same way. It's the land of the free. We're supposed to be a people that can find respect, acceptance, understanding. Like, hey, you over there, I go to Oklahoma, right? I told you guys, I went to see Black Wall Street and all that. You can drive down streets in Oklahoma and have a Christian church next to a Catholic church, next to a Baptist church, next to a Korean or a Vietnamese church. They all have church on the same days. They all get out at roughly the same time. You don't have feuds outside between the different religions. They've learned to get along with each other and live their lives, as backwards as Oklahoma and Tulsa is. And I'm just using that as an example because that's a big one. Religion is a big one. People fall back on their beliefs and their system of beliefs, and all of a sudden that's how everybody should live. No, that's how you've chosen to live, and other people can choose to also, if they want to, in the United States of America. And when that's understood, and we stop persecuting and beating on people of color for doing nothing, for being people, and or committing them to criminal sentences that are longer than their white counterpart who commits the same crime in the same town, then all of that stuff, that pride, that patriotism, that nationalism that some of you blindly have, regardless of right and wrong, will all start coming back for all of us. And that's real talk. NBA. Exciting news. The sports betting is kind of taken off, right? And the NBA is now the first league to have a partnership with sports betting. They've stricken a deal with the MGM Grand. NBA will receive $25 million, I think, over the next 3 or 4 years. And the MGM Grand gets exclusive rights to logos and highlights and basically insider information to help their sports book, to make it more personal, to make it more specific and different from the other books that are out there. So I would expect baseball and hockey and the NFL to be following suit here very shortly. The MLS, all of them. You might even see this go as far as the Belmont Stakes and different places like that developing partnerships. So exciting times with that for sure, as that is going to change the sports landscape. When you think about it, for so long, there was no betting. And we talked about it on this show previously. There will be an initial influx of issues. There's going to be an influx of people who lose all their money to sports betting. There's going to be maybe minor league teams where you start seeing more fixed games. Eventually that will go away. and it will level out, and it'll become a niche thing, just like all gambling is. You're going to see an initial increase in gambling addiction, and eventually that will die out. But it's going to change the sports landscape. The rules are going to have to be rewritten for the athletes, because now sports betting's legal. Are you going to say athletes are the only people who aren't allowed because of their profession? That's not going to fly. That's not going to work. So it's going to forever change sports. It's going to forever change the athlete who doesn't love the sport but loves the money. It could change officiating. We'll have to see. And I do think that after a certain amount of time, like I said, it's all going to level out, and eventually some of the negative parts of this will go away. I think that's why the NBA's deal with this is so short term and not like a 10-year or 15, 20-year long-term situation. And, next time on the show, we're going to do our NFC South predictions. We'll have those on Monday. On the 6th, we'll do that show then, and we'll throw a couple other sports stories in there as well. Again, KP Showdown, the third annual fantasy football league through NFL.com. Go to the website, realdealsportstalkwithkp.com. Shout out to my boy Marcus Ogden. I'm going to join you on the Isogenics. I'm going to call it the Isogenics Challenge as I try to improve my health. We're going to see what that's all about. I got my welcome emails and everything during the show. And I'm going to end on this note. Tony Poznaski on Twitter wrote, LeBron James has done more for education than Betsy DeVos, more for charity than Donald Trump, and more for inner cities than Ben Carson. Maybe Washington should shut up and dribble. Till next time, be real.
Yeah, they say that talk is cheap, but not with me. If you want it first, it'll cost a fee. I put them seeds in the hearse the way that I torture beats. My vocal cords producing the force to lift you up off your feet. I'm off the leash when I sink my teeth in them seeds to eat. At night I stalk the streets, and the day I lay in the coffin sleep. I'm death walking on 2 feet, make it hard to sleep. The rhythm that need an exorcism, the way your heart to beat. You know we starving, these rap artists is ours to eat. And when you carve the meat, make sure you serve me the largest piece.
Fuck peace, I ain't stopping till they all deceased. Ravaged through the underground scene like a savage beast. Nightmare on Elm Street, damn it's been a wild day. Grown man business, you can miss us with the child's play. No time to waste, so I go ahead and make it fast. Covered up my face, blood dripping off the Jason mask. Microphone audio's the Twilight Zone. The Alfred Hitchcock, it is murder mystery hip-hop. Chainsaw massacre rappers make it seem effortless. Take all their possessions in seconds, call me the exorcist. Resurrect your soul from the dead, something like Lazarus. Crucify your flesh to a cross, Jesus in Nazareth. Half of these whack rap cats can never spit with me. Craft a paragraph causing paranormal activity. Damien had an omen for dancing around with the devil. Rise from the ash like the phoenix and never settle.
Yeah, rest in peace to all the beats that we left deceased. Rest in peace to feeble MCs, but leaving them 6 feet. Your dance moves and your weak rhyming is lunacy. Rest in peace to all that buffoonery, this the eulogy. Rest in peace to all the beats that we left deceased. Rest in peace to feeble MCs, but leaving them 6 feet. Your dance moves and your weak rhyming is lunacy.